In today's Local Business Spotlight, we are chatting with Dr. Chris Lesar of the Vascular Institute of Chattanooga. Thanks so much for joining us, Dr. Lesar.
Thank you, Jess. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. All right, today we are talking about peripheral artery disease. Can you tell us a little bit more about what that is?
Peripheral artery disease is a very common problem that we have in the United States. One person out of five Americans have PAD. And it is where the body will develop blockages inside of the arteries. One of the most common reasons why people die is having a heart attack. And one of the fifth most common reasons is stroke problems. So people who have heart attacks or strokes make blockages in the arteries, but they can also make blockages in the lower extremities, and people can have problems walking.
Dr. Lesar, tell me a little bit more about how yourself and your practice, the Vascular Institute of Chattanooga, how do you address this issue with your patients?
Well, it's we basically created about 5 years ago a center that is specifically designed around the care of patients with peripheral artery disease. We recognized that there were problems with getting patients into the proper physicians at the right time to deal with the problems and prevent things like amputation. And so we had to fix the paradigm of how we care for patients. One of the things that we wanted to do was create better access to care. Many of our listeners or viewers have experienced where they need a specialty consult. And sometimes that can be 3 months to 6 months in wait times. And I think that's crazy. I mean, it doesn't make sense. So one of the things we did was to improve access to care was to create a medical team around the process. And so we use nurse practitioners here to see patients and get them in and triage to the ultrasound testing that we need to do to figure out what their problems are. And that way we can get them to the therapy that they need faster.
And this is what truly makes a difference when you're working with the Vascular Institute of Chattanooga is this new model that you have created to better serve your patients. Real quickly, I want to just retrack back to PAD. Are there any symptoms or warning signs that our viewers need to know about when it comes to peripheral artery disease?
Absolutely. So there's, many of us have heard of the acronym FAST for people that have stroke problems. We've created one as well. It's called FLOW. And it's feelings of pain in the lower extremities, or loss of sensation in the toes or feet, open sores that won't heal, or weakness when walking. If you have a flow problem, then you need to be checked out by your physician. You need to figure out if you have PAD problems.
All right, perfect. Of course. Now, tell us a little bit about how we can get started working with you, whether we have questions as it pertains to PAD or maybe any other questions, and how can we learn more about the Vascular Institute of Chattanooga as well?
Well, it's so we do have our website. It's vascularinstituteofchattanooga.com. That gets us into directly into what we do. And many people have problems with not just artery problems, but also vein problems. So we do take care of the broader aspect of vascular care for the community. But one of our main focuses has always been PAD care and amputation prevention. So if someone has a problem with, pain in the lower extremities or weakness when they walk, then we want to see those patients. And so you can either access us through your primary care or access us directly, and we can have interviews and see patients fairly quickly with this process.
All right, of course, I know we're going to dive into even more of your services in the coming weeks as you return on Local Business Spotlight. Thanks so much for joining us, Dr. Lesar.
Absolutely, Jess. Thank you.